welcome to my channel, Kel's Stitches. Today is Monday, the 2nd of June 2025, and this is Flosstube number 72. So this is a channel where I talk about all things cross-stitching and all the other hobbies that go with it, such as buying patterns, acquiring, all that sort of stuff. So if that's what you're into, stick around. If not, well, sorry that I've wasted the first probably 30-40 seconds of this video. Anyway, I would just like to say thank you to any returning viewers and subscribers. Very much appreciated that you come back every video and leave comments and likes and everything like that. It makes it a little bit more worthwhile to be doing these videos. And thank you and welcome to any new subscribers that might have just found me in the YouTube algorithm. I hope that you enjoy what I have to show you and you come back and see the progress on my other projects. All right, so let's just get straight into it, and I'll show you what I've stitched on in the last 2 weeks. So the first one that I stitched on was this one. It's called Wild. It's from a store on Etsy called 2x2 Stitch Art, and I bought it as a trio of patterns. This is the last one that I am working on. So that's what it'll look like when it is completed. I'm sorry if I bump the camera. I'll get really close and you see all my wrinkles because my thing is just behind here on the table. If I move them over a bit, I might not bump you. Oh, where are you? Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. No, that's not it. Alright. Oops, I told you I'd bump the camera. There it is. I'll put up a picture of where it was. And this is where I'm up to. So, as you can see, I've finished filling in all that teal that I was in last time, and now I am just in this, which is, I think it's 939. I don't actually think it's 310. I think it's that really, really dark blue. I think it's 939. But anyway, that's all the color that I've got left, is just all, so just filling in all these trees down here. I think it's about 1,500 stitches. So depending on the next time this gets called in the rotation and when I work on it, hopefully this will be finished. But yeah, so I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,100 stitches into it. And as I said, I finished off all of this teal and started in this. So yeah, it's looking good. Once it's done, I can fully finish the 3 of them off. I've already finished one, fully finished one. And yeah, once this is done, I can do them all. So yeah. And that's just being stitched on a bit of 16 count scrap Ada. Rightio. So the next one that I worked on is this one. It's called Protector. The artwork is by Katie Lipscomb, and this is charted by Pain Free Crafts. This is what it'll look like when it is completed. And just lost my needle. No, I didn't. It's stuck. And this is where I'm up to. So I've just kept working in and getting all this done. I got a little bit over on this page here that just sort of comes out, but I'm going to finish off. Well, I haven't finished that page. So yeah, I'll finish that page, this one that I'm working on, and then I'll just move over and do the couple of, because it's just a couple of bits like this that's out this way, and I'll do that, and then I'll move down. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,100 stitches into it, and this is being stitched on an 18 count green Aida that I dyed myself. And I am not doing the background. I've taken all the background off, out of it. So yeah, that's kind of see everything that I've stitched. But moving down, it moves down into this other wolf here, and then I think it's the earth that's down here. But that's coming along. It does say on Pattern Keeper that I'm at like 70 something %, but that's only because I have taken all the background out. And if that's the case, when I'm thinking of focus on finish, this should be the one that I focus on next year because it is closest to the 100%. But we'll see, we will see what it gets to. It probably will be the one that I focus on next year because it's probably is the closest to being finished. Rightio, the next one was this one, and it's called Horse Portrait. It's by a company off eBay called Just Stitching. I don't know if they're still even going, but this is what it'll look like when it's completed. So with this one, I am just doing the horse in full cross, and then all the background is in tent stitch. So when you see this, it'll look like that I've actually done more than what my stitches say that I have done, and that's because I count 2 tent stitches for 1 full cross. So that's why it'll look like there's more done, because I have just been working in the background, getting it filled in. So that is where we're up to. And I worked on this for 2 days and I got 800 stitches into it. As you can see, I've just filled in all of this and sort of around here. And this is just being stitched on a 16 count Aida. And I filled in that missing stitch that was not that one, that's a random light coloured stitch for some reason. But I did have a missing stitch up here somewhere. Up in here somewhere, so I just went and filled it in once I got to that colour. But yeah, as you can see, like from a distance, you can't really notice that this is full cross and this is tent. And I'm only doing the tent half stitch in 2 strands. I'm not doing it in 3 or 4 strands to make it look fuller, because I wanted that bit of a contrast between the full cross of the horse and the background. But I am nearly at 50% on this one. I think it was like 48%. So once I fill in all this, I will definitely be at or just over the 50% mark, because I don't really have that much. It's not a very big piece. So hopefully I will have some more finishes and some close to finishing by the end of the year. The next one that I worked on was this one. It's called Mini Shaman. The artwork is by Laurie Prindle, and this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's completed. And this is where I'm up to. So just filled in some more of that eagle and getting some more of that background filled in. And working on here the muzzle and the nose of the horse to get it filled in. I think that's probably where I'll concentrate next, is filling in this section of the horse, and then I can just go. I'll leave down here, I'm not, because this is just all bulk of 2 colors down in here, so I'll leave that to last. And this is just being stitched on a 16 count Aida as well. And I think I just cracked the 50% mark, even though it's not quite finished this page. I think I have just reached the 50% mark on it. And I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,200 stitches into it. So yeah, looking good. Love stitching on this one. This would have been my other pick for focus on a finish for next year, but I think I will go with Protector first, get it done, and then once Protector's done I can put that in its place. The next one that I worked on was my Year in the Woods series. And I'm currently working on the raccoon. So last time you've seen it, oh well, you'll see it when I put the photo up. But this is what it'll look like when it's completed. And here we are, almost done. So I believe I left that hanging, but anyway. So yeah, here we are. I have finished off doing all of the vines. That was, I think I was up here. So I've finished off doing the vines and I've done the inside of the flowers and the house. And now all I've got left, which is apparently another 1,000 or so stitches, is all the flowers, which I sort of look and go, it can't be 1,000, that can't be that many stitches, but you'd be surprised how many stitches are just in one flower. So I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big flowers there, and I mean, if that's approximately 100 stitches a flower, there's 600 there. And then you've got all these little ones like these parts here as well, so probably is around about the 1,000 stitches left to go. And this is being stitched on an 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. I think it was I used powder dyes with this one. It was cocoa brown with a touch of sunshine orange in it, which gives it that bit of a mottled orangey effect. And I worked on this one for 2 days and I got 1,100 stitches into it. And I know that the new Year in the Woods series has, or will be, the first one has been released this month, which is the wolf. And I will definitely be buying all of those as they come out. And then it's just a matter of deciding, do I stitch them all on one piece of fabric like I've done this one? Or do I do them on separate pieces of fabric, or do I do them in their, like nearly in their season? I don't think she's actually doing them in seasons this time. I think she's just releasing them. So that is going to be a decision. If I had known she was going to do a second series of them, and I mean, I probably could have done it with this one because there's 12, but if I had known she was going to do another series of 12, which would have made it 24, I would have done them all individually and then made it into either a big wall hanging or made it into a quilt with the individual, like animals all over it, but you're not to know that. So, I mean, I could still do that with the new series, have the 12 of them and make it into a quilt. But that's going to be a while yet because I've got to finish this one first before I start the new one. Rightio, the next one that I worked on, and I haven't actually got a cover photo of this printed out as of yet because it didn't actually come with a cover photo with the pattern. So this is just the mock-up on Pattern Keeper. So this is the next one that I stitched on. It's just called Beetlejuice, and I can't actually remember the designer, but it was off Etsy. So if you just put in Beetlejuice pattern, if you're interested in it, I'm sure it'll come up. Because that's all I done, was I just put in Beetlejuice cross stitch PDF, I think. And yeah, they just all came up. So yeah, that's what it'll look like when it's completed. And this is where I'm up to with it. So I'm stitching it on purple, 18 counts that I dyed myself. And the only thing I've changed out is all of this is meant to be B5200, but I'm stitching it in glow in the dark thread instead. So all the white that's on the pattern will be in glow in the dark. And I worked on this for 2 days and I got 700 stitches into it. It was funny because I was taking a photo of it last night for one of my games, and you know how your camera focuses when it recognizes a face and it puts the box around it? Well, yeah, I was taking a photo of this last night and it boxed it out like it recognized the face. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. I've done, that's all of his face in the white anyway. And now I'm starting on his hair. He's got his crazy hair. And then down here will be his jacket and that. But I will finish off this section first before I move on. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. And then the next one that I worked on was this one. It's called Shaped Wolf. The artwork is by Greg Giordano and it is by Heaven and Earth charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's completed. So it is just the wolf. There is no background to this one. I have got a companion piece to this one, but it's charted by Charting Creations. It's also by Greg Giordano, and the wolf's facing the other way. And it's all bluish tones, like white and bluish tones, rather than the browns and the greens. But I'd have to see. I was thinking of stitching them both and not framing them, but displaying them both together, but I'd have to see how big the Charting Creations one actually stitches up to be compared to this one. But this is the one that I'm working on currently, so that's what it'll look like when it is completed. And this is where I'm currently up to. So as you can see, I have filled all of this rest in. I think there was a few colours up here that had to be done and a few down here. And I've started in on that wolf's mouth. So all I've got left is to do all this, which is just all 310. And now when I was stitching on it, I was hoping to push myself to actually just stitch all that and get it over and done with, but it didn't eventuate, as you can see. But I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,000 stitches into it. So next time I bring it out, I'll finish off all this and then we will move down to finish his leg. And this is being stitched on 18 count Aida that I dyed myself in this terracotta colour that is nearly showing about there, showing true to colour the fabric. So yeah, it is looking really good. I know I was saying there a while back that I was disappointed in some of the detail, like in the buffalo and stuff. It's still not showing up great, but from a distance it looks all right. And I mean, the buffalo isn't the main focal point. It's meant to be all the wolves and stuff like that. But it is stitching up okay. So yeah, I've just got one more page down here, I think, to finish off his leg. And once I've done that, I will move across to the other side of the pattern over this way and do a row or a column of pages down on the front of the wolf. And I'll just keep doing that. I'll just keep swapping backwards and forwards until I get it done. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Pretty easy to stitch up once you get to the last few colours on it as well. There's not that much confetti in it, but it doesn't really worry me because I stitch by colour anyway, on the page. So, and the last one that I worked on was this one. This is my stamped kit from, I'm pretty sure I bought this one off AliExpress many years ago. It hasn't got a name because they never name any of their projects. I just call it Dreamcatcher, and that's what it'll look like when it's completed. It is on 11 count. Where is it? It's right on the floor. And this has been my nemesis piece for a long time because I haven't really liked or enjoyed stitching on it. I love the actual pattern and the finished piece, but I haven't enjoyed stitching on it because of the floss, which they called it silk floss, which is why when I bought it you had the two options, cotton floss or silk floss, and I went, well, for the same price, I'm going to go with the silk floss, aren't I? It is not silk floss, let me tell you. It is a rayon, slippery floss, and it is so hard to work with unless you use a thread conditioner. Even then, it's still hard to work with. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest. So if you're ever given the opportunity between the two choices of floss, if you're buying a stamp kit, always go with the cotton floss, because this floss is not worth it. I think out of the stamped kits that I have there's a crack in my frame there, but I don't think it goes right through. And this is only a cheap frame off Temu anyway, and I think I cracked it because they've got you can screw them in with screwdrivers, and I think that's what I've done to try and get it tighter, and I think I might have put a bit too much pressure on the frame. Anyway, back to this. What was I saying before that? Before I got distracted? I don't know. But yeah, so if you ever have the choice, don't go with the silk floss, because it is not silk. It's rayon and slippery. Always go the cotton floss. Cotton floss is easier to work with anyway. And yes, it does give you kind of a nice sheen on it, but some of your, like your China cotton flosses, like your CXC has a bit of a sheen in it anyway because it's got polyester in it, so you're gonna still get the sheen, and it's a lot easier to work with, believe me. Oh, that's what I was saying. Out of all my other stamped kits, I think I've only got one other that is the silky floss. Rayon floss, slippery floss. I shouldn't call it silk because it's definitely not silk. And I stitched on this for one day and I got 400 stitches. As you can see, I have moved the hoop because I was over here somewhere. So I just got all these stitches, all these dark blue stitches done and moved the hoop. And I'll just continue next time up, it's called in my rotation. I'll just continue with the blue, getting all that dark blue stitched in, and then just keep working my way upwards. I mean, when you look at it, I really haven't got that much left to do. Like, it's really not that much, and this is on 11 count, so it's huge. The fabric's huge, not the actual size of the piece is huge. But yeah, I haven't really got that much left to do on it. There is some sections there that have a bigger, like more bulk stitching. So yeah, I'm thinking the next stamped kit that I attempt after this one's done, I'm thinking that I might try to load the pattern that comes with it into, probably not PK, probably markup, because I use both. I do use both applications. PK is a lot easier, especially for compatible patterns, but I do use markup for paper patterns that I scan into my, or scan through my printer. Like the Year in the Woods series, I've scanned all them and I just have them in a folder in my Google Drive, and when I'm ready I just upload the next one. It doesn't recognize the symbols or anything like that, but that's fine. I really only just want it to be able to mark off and count how many stitches I'm doing. I can use the paper pattern to see what the symbols and the floss are. So I'm considering on my next stamped one trying to scan the pattern and getting it into markup, so it's maybe a little bit easier for me to follow and count my stitches. I mean, the whole point of a stamp kit is it's meant to be easier because you're not constantly looking at a pattern and you're just following what's stamped on the fabric. But I actually find a stamped kit slower going than what I do counter cross stitch, but that's just me. All right, I have not added up my what's easy yet, so just give me 2 seconds to do that so I can tell you how much I've stitched for the fortnight. Whee! 800, 1200, 1100, 700, 1000. Whee! Extra 0 on that. So I have stitched 7,400 for the fortnight, and I did add up my month, my May month. So I totaled 17,115 stitches for May, which turns out to be my lowest stitch count month so far. Not by much, only by about 700 stitches. And that brings me to a total of 102,399 for the year so far. Well, that's to the end of May. That doesn't include what I stitched yesterday. So if I keep on that track, I will crack the 200,000 mark again. But yeah, so that's all the stitching that I've worked on. I'll pull my next rotation out, which isn't going to be hard because there's should only be 6 of these left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So if you've watched me enough, you probably know what's in these cards anyway, so we're not going to make a big deal about it. We're just going to open them up and I'll write them down. So we've got the cross stitch for everyone's sale. And the Modern Folk Embroidery sale, that's last year's. So that was 2024 sale, not this year. I don't even know if he'd done one this year. Did he? Did Jacob do one this year? Not sure. I've never seen it. Someone let me know if he did do one this year, because if he did, I'll have to track it down and see what it looks like. Moonrise Song. Great Spirit. And we all know that that is the one that I will probably work on today, because I don't have a great deal of it left to stitch, and then it's just all the beads. So let's see if I can get it finished off. Daydream Sea Turtles. And last one is Autumn Blessing. So they are the 6 projects. Yes, only 6, because I did finish one, so it's dropped my count down. If this is the first time you see me, I start the year off with 21 projects, and I pull 7 projects a fortnight and work on a rotation like that. So 7 projects a fortnight, so 6 weekly. It's basically a 6 weekly rotation that I come back around and start it all over again. And then as I finish them, I do not bring any more new starts in. I just cut down. Say if I finish 3, I'd then only pull 6 projects a fortnight, and it just means the extra days, because I pull 7 projects, I get 2 days on them, 2 days stitching on each project. If I finish a project and I come down to say like 6 projects in the fortnight, that just means that there's a couple of projects that will get 3 days rather than 2 days. And I try to make the full coverages get the extra days, because they're the ones that are going to take a lot longer to finish rather than the smaller ones. I seem to be able to stitch the smaller ones up pretty quickly. So yeah, the full coverages are the ones that will get the extra days. And then we see how many I get to finish during the year, and then at the start of the year we will start all over again with another 21 projects. Except for next year, I will be starting with 21 projects and a focus on a finish for one of my full coverages. So we'll see how that actually pans out, won't we? All right, so now I will do my boards. Actually, no, I will show you the cover photos of the ones that I'll be working on. One, two, 3, 4. What am I missing? Cross stitch, Modern Folk, Autumn Blessings, Great Spirits. Oh. So these are the projects that I'll be working on. So we've got Daydream Sea Turtles by Sheena Pike, Moonrise Song by Abraham Hunter, the To Catch a Dream cross stitch for everyone, Sal. This is not the actual, what it'll actually look like because it's a mystery. So she just made up a cover photo. Oh Great Spirit, this is the one that I am nearly finished. I've just got this corner in here to stitch and then some beads to put in. That one is upside down. We've got Autumn Blessings, which is a Shannon Christine design, and the Modern Folk Embroidery Salve from 2024 called No Time Like the Present. So they are the 6 projects that I am working on this fortnight. One of them will definitely, I'm calling it, one of them will definitely be a finish, for sure. And if it's not, there's definitely something wrong with me, because I should easily be able to get Great Spirit done. All right, so that's that part taken care of. And now I am just going to fill in my boards. So if this is the first time you see me, you've seen my videos, I have 2 of these boards. One's for full coverage projects, one's for my small full coverage and non-full coverage projects, and I track my stitches each year. Oh, I track my stitches. I set myself a goal, which for the full coverages are 10,000 stitches. And once I reach that goal, I reward myself by putting $10 into a money box. And at the end of the year, that money is going to go towards something that I choose. I was thinking of kitting up a chatelaine, but I don't know if I want to put myself through that whole thing of doing the chatelaine. So I'm still tossing up. We'll see what happens when we get to the end of the year. All right, so we will fill this one in. Well, we've got Protector is here for 1,100. So that is 4,450. No, 550. Can't count. $4,550. And then we have Shaman, Mini Shaman here for 1,200. And that is 6,600. And Shaped Wolf is 1,000. So where are we? Over here. That brings us to 3,200 on that one. So yeah, that one's a little bit behind the 8 ball. I mean, these ones haven't been pulled very often in the rotation yet. So yes, that's all our full coverage projects done. And now we do our smalls. As you can see, I do have a finish written here. That is the one that I finished a couple of videos ago now, I think. 3 videos, something like that. So we've got Wild at 1,100, and that's 3,700. Horse Portrait is 800. And that is 3,750. So as you can see, my goal for this one is 7,500. Now some of these will be finished before they reach 7,500, so I will just reward myself with the $10 if they reach that finish before that. Woods, in the woods. It's 1,100. We have 6,600. This one may be a finish and a goal completion reward next time it is pulled, from the looks of it. If I've got around about 1,000 stitches left on the raccoon. Beetlejuice isn't on here because I'm not doing that, because it is one that I pulled in and started for a present. And the stamped is right here, 400. As you can see, the stamp one is falling a little bit behind on its stitch count, but that's all right. If I don't reach my goal of 7,500, I don't sort of care. I don't even know if it'd have 7,500 stitches left in it. I mean, there's still a fair bit of stitching there to do, so it could do. But that one's not really a worry to me, whether I make the goal or not. All right, so that is all of the stitching and that sort of stuff. I do have a little bit of haul to show you, so if you're not interested in the haul or anything else, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I hope that you'll drop in next time. Now, if you are here for the haul, let me see. There was a couple of things that I actually forgot to show last time. Or one thing that I forgot to show last time. If I can actually find it here. It should be here. Where is it? Ah, there it is. All right, so Judy, an Aussie and a Kiwi go travelling, is her Flosstube name, channel name. She tagged me in a stash unload, Aussie stash unload group with this. And I have not got that yet. I did not yet have that in my stash, so I bought it. I didn't pay that much for it, but yeah. So I did get that one off a stash unload group. And then, once again, thanks to Judy, she was talking, it was in her mini whip parade that she put out a couple of weeks ago. She was talking about this book by Max Pigeon called Cross Stitch in the Forest. And she showed a couple of the patterns in it. And I fell in love with the patterns, so I had to go and track the book down myself. Bought it off Amazon if anyone is interested. I'm sure if I could get it on Amazon Australia, you could get it on Amazon wherever it is in your country. But yeah, so I bought the Cross Stitch in the Forest book by Max Pigeon, who is the founder of Pigeon Coop Designs. He has got an Etsy store. He's also got a website. But the patterns found in this book are not on the Etsy store. I actually haven't looked at his website. Maybe they're on there. So yeah, I bought this. Fell in love with. There's 25 patterns in it. Fell in love with 22 of the patterns in here. So more than likely, some of these will be started in the near future. The partner says to me, so the problem with buying books like this is then I want to do all of them. And he says to me, you know, you don't have to stitch everything. And I was like, well, I kind of do. oh, well, I can attempt to stitch everything. And then I proceeded to flip through the book, and he was like, oh, I like that pattern, and oh, I like that pattern. Oh, that one looks nice. So, yeah. And I have actually filmed a flip through of this book, which I will probably post next week if you're interested in that. It's just a flip through to show you the designs and some of that in the book. And then I received these in the mail once again from Judy. So she's obviously been going through her stash and looking at things that she probably wouldn't stitch. But look at these. Look at the wolf. Even these, the little Dalmatian. How adorable. How stinking cute are they? So this is a yeah, so it's just the 4 designs in this leaflet called Canine Companions. And the designs are by Mary Ellen Yenich. And I don't even know if it has a, let me see if it's got a printing date on it. Don't think so. Probably does, probably staring me right in the face. But I can't see a date of print on there. But yeah, so I'll probably definitely do this one sometime down the track. But as I said, these others are pretty stinking cute. So, but if not, once I do this one, I may just pass this booklet on to someone who would stitch the other ones. And she also sent me this one called Blue Ribbon Horses. So this one here has caught my eye. So is this one here. And then on the back, you've got these 2 little foals. And they are, this one's 1993, it says up there. What does this one say? No, still can't see the, so this one says 1993. And does it say designs by Melinda? That's all it says. But it's by Cross Stitch My Heart Ink. But yeah, so Judy sent me those. Thank you very much, Judy. I will go into my stash and I will get around to stitching some of them eventually. And then I was saying about joining the Silks for You Hank of the Month Club, which I did. And I was like, I haven't received the invoice for it yet. And I asked Judy because she's joined as well. And she was like, no, I haven't received mine either. And then mine came in. So I haven't spoken to Judy, but I'm assuming if my invoices come in, hers would have too. So I paid it, and the first month we got to choose our own colour. And I chose PR204, which is this gorgeous burnt orange type of floss, so coloured. So it is a little bit variegated. There is darker sections in there, but that is a whole hank of floss. You can sort of see the variegations of it there. So I have to ask Joe again approximately how much meterage is in that, so I can maybe do a small long dog or something with that. And I think that's all of my stash acquisitions. I will show you these. I done some dyeing. I've done another dyeing video, which I posted last night, which is an over dye, how to over dye. So I done this one with 3 colours, which was pink, purple and black. And that's how it's turned out. So it's only a small piece, but I will, and it's only 14 count. So that might be all right for a small long dog, or will that fit fishy goings on, or one of those ones, possibly. And then I over dyed my yellow piece with some green. And of course this is an 18 count and it's a bit bigger. But yeah, so that's, so if you haven't watched the dyeing video, surprise, you get to see them. And I know not everyone's going to watch the dyeing videos because they're not interested in watching them or learning how to do it. But I'll probably leave it, it'll probably be another couple of weeks because I've got the flip through of the Max Pigeon book that I'll post next week, and then I'll probably do another dyeing video, maybe a tie-dye video this time. So that is everything. Work has been work. It was really busy on Saturday, crazy busy on Saturday actually. We had a lot of things booked in for work on Saturday, which wasn't our fault. We only booked so many things in, but the boss goes and books so many more things in and thinks that she's got the staff to do it. But we got through it, it got done. So yeah, and we had, of course we've had so much rain here. We are actually officially apparently in winter, but I don't class us officially in winter until the winter equinox, which is, I don't even know what date that is this year, so in a couple of weeks I think. But we have been so wet here, like we've had constant rain for so long, and the paddocks are just ridiculously wet. Like I'm wearing my gum boots and I'm sinking over my ankles in mud and what haven't you. But anyway, we were walking down the paddock one day and there was a lump, like a mound like this in the paddock, and I was like, that wasn't there yesterday. And by that time the partner had stepped on it and he was like, what's that? And I said, I don't know, it wasn't there yesterday. Like, how did it come up? And he got off it, and as he got off it, it moved like a waterbed, and I was like, and that's interesting. So we've got our foot and we're pressing on it, and it's just doing this. So I ended up taking a bit of a video of it, which I will put in at the end. And then I Googled it, and the partner was like, I've seen these. I've watched videos of them and that, blah, 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 of them being like they've just come up, and they call them a water bubble or a land bubble or something like that. And they come up and you pop them and all this water gushes out. I was like, okay, well, let's leave it overnight and see if it gets any bigger, and then tomorrow we'll stick a shovel into it. Anyway, so I've sent the video to the daughter, and she was like, oh my God, just go and run at it and jump on it with both feet. And I was like, no, we can't do that, because you don't know if there's a big hole under it or what's going on. Like, you could just jump on it and disappear. So she was sorely disappointed that we weren't going to do that. So the next day we went out, it hadn't got any bigger. I thought that the next morning that it was bigger, but by the time we got out to it in the afternoon when we went to feed the horses and that, it didn't look any bigger, but there was a bit of seepage around it, where obviously the water was starting to seep out of it. So we stuck the shovel into it, and again I took a video of it, so I will put it in after the other one. And all this water just gushed out of it, and I was like, yeah, great, because that's exactly what the paddocks needed was another 20 or 30 litres of water over it. But it hasn't come back up. So basically all a land bubble is just where after you've had excessive rain and then a couple of hot days, it's where the water rises to the surface and it gets trapped between the grass roots and the soil. So it just forms, basically, the daughter called it an earth pimple or a land pimple. So basically that's what it is. And you just pop it and it just goes away. We had people going, oh, it's a spring, it's an underground spring that's come up and blah, blah, blah. It's not, because we busted it, trampled it down, and it hasn't come back. So it was just one of those freak things. But that goes to show how wet we are, because we've had floods over the paddocks before, like where you've got like 12 foot of water sitting on over the paddocks, and we've never had that happen. So that just goes to show how much rain we have had over probably a couple of months. I'd say ever since Cyclone Alfred decided to make his appearance, we have had just rain, and more rain. And then we were told we've had a few dry days and it was just starting to dry out, kind of, in some sections anyway. Some sections were just starting to dry out, that you were walking on firmer ground. And then we got more rain. And it's looking a bit cloudy out there. We're meant to be having a bit more rain today, and then the rest of the week is meant to be cloudy but sunny with no rain. But we are down to like 20, 21 degrees Celsius during the day and 6 or 7 degrees Celsius during the night. So winter is going to start rearing its ugly head, and that just means that the mud and the water will not dry up as much as what it would if we were in summer. So yeah, I will put those couple of videos at the end. So that's basically sort of what's happened. I mean, of course, muddy ground is not good for horses' feet, but luckily all of our horses are pretty tough, and it hasn't affected them too much. Alrighty, guys, I think I will leave it as that. So my next video will be on the 16th of June. Monday the 16th will be my next update video anyway. Flosstube Extra or something like that will probably pop up in between and now and then. So yeah, guys, I will leave it as that. We're nearly at an hour. So yes, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me and listening to my ramblings. Very much appreciated. I will try to get around to any of the comments from the last video. Been a bit slack on that. I have read them all. I just haven't got around to commenting on them. I might do that while this one's uploading. All right, guys. So wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe. And until my next video, bye-bye for now. Walking down the paddock today, we discovered, and I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to, a bubble in the ground that has risen overnight. You can sort of see, there we go, you can see that it's actually a mound in the ground. And it moves when you step on it. You look at the ground moving there. That is just all water under that. Like, you think you're wet, until you see this, you're not as wet as we are. So that's just risen up overnight, or because it definitely wasn't there yesterday when we came down to feed the horses. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. We're going to leave it tonight and then we'll see what happens, and we'll stick a shovel in it tomorrow and see how much water comes out. Okay, this is either going to be really disappointing or fucking... Look at that. Oh, look at the colour of that water. That is filthy. You can see it going down. Not that we needed any more water in the paddock, but that is what just came out of that big old water bubble in the paddock. And it has gone back down, but it is still very, very squishy under there. So we'll see if it forms again.